The LoveKami series contains some solid moments of comedic romance stories, often overlooked by the visual novel community. This may largely have to do with movie novels' approach to leaning into the sexuality of their Western releases. However, I feel like LoveKami Divinity Stage has always been an outlier in this series. It happens to be the strongest narrative, focusing on what readers would expect from a title such as this. When it comes to the Nintendo Switch, the exposure might make new fans of the series, but the 4-year-old visual novel could use a few touch-ups for its 2020 debut. LoveKami Divinity Stage presents an interesting premise where goddesses descend to the earth to learn more about humanity. Over the years, this becomes more commonplace, but in Akihabara specifically, the goddesses have become idol celebrities who bring joy to their audience, who seem to be mostly male. The story centers around a popular idol group known as L7, as they hold auditions for new positions. Players assume the role of Yamato, a shop owner who inherited his store, with one of the employees being Sarah, a member of the L7 group. Her reasonings for working at the shop revolve around doubts that she holds towards her idol abilities, but it also gives some normalcy to her life. On this particular day, Yamato just so happens to run into two aspiring L7 members, Shuri and Kagura. Shuri is the younger sister of one of L7's members who hasn't informed her sister that she's even trying out, and Kagura is just an over-sexualized siren with some idol talents. Sticking closely to the theme of goddesses, the characters are loosely based on Japanese folklore. They play into their roles in a parody fashion, but some unique facts are thrown out from time to time. Given that the historical inspiration shapes these girls' personalities, they do come off as well-rounded, in more ways than one, I suppose. LoveKami Divinity Stage isn't going to win any storytelling awards, as it plays it safe across all three routes. Each girl has something that she needs to overcome, and Yamato somehow plays a role in their recovery, and you're off to the romance routes. Still, some cute moments of interaction and the girls' lively personalities make the comedic scenes a little more impactful. In fact, I think LoveKami Divinity Stage nails everything that it's trying to accomplish through its narrative. It creates a decent backstory for these characters to exist in, and their friendship with each other is believable. I don't really think Yamato plays a real role in any of these, but he is a master of being in the right place at the right time. When it comes to the Switch version, nothing has changed from the Steam release outside of a few elements. This only ends up hurting this version, given that you can't use the touchscreen to interact with the menus, and the art assets have clearly not been updated for high-resolution displays. While the CGs look colorful and sharp, the illustrations become a blurry mess once they are zoomed in. There are also times where the controls would become completely unresponsive when trying to navigate the options. Surprisingly, LoveKami Divinity Stage on Switch really pushes it with fan service, and if that's what you're reading the story for, you'll see these goddesses bear all. I should mention that the Switch version, while it features the same CGs as the Steam release, some of the more defined assets of the girls have been slightly edited. No, you won't see any rays of light or visible gusts of wind, but some of the more under-the-belt defining features have been smoothed over. Furthermore, the characters are animated, but they aren't obnoxiously bouncy, so it works well. Still, the lip sync for the characters can seem a bit off during scenes. What I always liked about LoveKami titles are the tips that pop up during conversations that explain things about the world, which is always a nice touch. LoveKami Divinity Stage gives us a fun story of idol goddesses just trying to make it in this world. Its comedic elements and lewd imagery carry the narrative, but don't expect to feel too attached to the characters after the conclusion. Ultimately, the Switch version holds this release back with a lack of additional features and low quality assets. At least the CGs are there to hold the reader's attention. Noisy Pixel is giving LoveKami Divinity Stage a 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Please read the full review at noisypixel.net. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.